Next, we have in line Dr. Neville Mehta, who will throw light on food and nutrition activity done in Maharashtra by Lions Club. To introduce Dr. Neville, he is seasoned and dynamic Chief Executive Officer with over 28 years of intensive record of global diversified strategic management, a multifaceted leader who sets clear targets and achieves them efficiently. A PhD in social welfare and humanity, he was acknowledged as a brand ambassador for the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. He is on the advisory board of the National Institute of Event Management of India and Food Security Foundation in India. In partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Dr. Mehta facilitated the measles rubella campaign across 13 states or union territories with the government of India. With this, I would request Dr. Neville to take it ahead. Yes, Dr. Neville?
Yes, I
Yes,
can hear you.
over to you, sir. We welcome you on behalf of USSEC.
Thank you very much. It has been a little cat and mouse game trying to get on line, and I'm sure you two are a little tired maybe because your time has extended and you're running late, but I'll be very short in my presentation. I don't know how many of you know about Lions, but Lions Clubs International is one of the largest service organization in the world. It started in 1917 and we are spread in over 120 countries and geographical areas. I call Lions members not ordinary people, I call them extraordinary people, because very seldom in today's world you find people who not only look after their businesses, their families, their children, but also have time, money, and resources to take care of other people's problems too and deal with it on a day-to-day basis. So thus I feel that such people are not just ordinary people, but extraordinary people. The conversation about malnutrition, and it is sad that after 75 years, we still are talking about malnutrition when we are all sitting in a country which is blessed with so much food around. The only thing that we haven't yet applied our mind is on the wastage of food and the nutrition value of the food that we have at our disposal. Lions Clubs International has been instrumental in many ways to see that no one goes to bed hungry. However, we try our best, but as you know, the problem is mammoth, and whatever you do, you probably may not be able to deal with the problem 100%. But let me just share with you that in 2013-14, we conducted a joint club activity with an agency called Govardhan, and where we almost took care of 500 Anganwadis, which were benefited because of the nutritious value of the food or the biscuits that we used to provide them. This again was we did the same thing in Nepal, where 10,000 people benefited in just 1 month. And thereafter, we kept doing it. So this is not only in India, we take care of, we also work with vitamin A angels, where the food is fortified with vitamin A so that children are not anemic and they get proper nutritious food in their daily diets. Over and above that, we have various clubs who provide food to the hungry and, food in the sense nutritious food. I'm not talking about food that is basically not very good for your health. Thereafter, we run food kitchens and soup kitchens, as you call it, or food banks. The largest food bank that Lions Clubs International ran that was the largest in the world, was in South Africa for many, many years, and it had become a model of survey and a case study by many agencies around the world. In India, we have a distribution of food at regular intervals, especially during times where, like Dasera, Diwali, the good days. People, our members, come out in the open and not only make the food or get it made by a reputed caterer. Again, when I talk about food, I'm talking about nutritious food, and serve it to the needy and the hungry. Over and above that, I don't know whether you are aware, but we have a program called Mutti Anaj Dan, that is a grain, a fistful of grains, that our members send empty containers to various houses in various condominiums, and after 15 days they go and collect the jar and give them an empty jar. It's weighed in front of them. They have a passbook. It's mentioned, and that grain is further brought back, repacked, cleaned, repacked, and then given to those hungry people, or people who are not subject to or not having a 1 square meal a day, and they're distributed over there. We do the same thing even in schools, in municipal schools, where we encourage the children, the parents, to send the children to school. And if they do send the children to school, the school, the Lions will provide a month's ration to them if they attend school. So this also sees that the children are not used for labor, and there's no child labor, and at the same time the children get an opportunity to educate themselves. So as I said, there are various ways where we talk about food and nutritious food. We have seminars talking about, we had experts coming to talk about it and educate our members, their children, and also the people. I mean, I'm talking about the masses. Over and above that, as I said, we are members of the World Food Bank, and we constantly work with the Indian Food Banking Authority here in Mumbai. We also, as I said, we work with the guidelines of with various agencies, like I mentioned, Govardhan and many others, as per the WHO recommended norms. And today in India, we have about, as you know, 227,000 malnutrition children only in Maharashtra. And you can imagine that how important your seminar today is, especially when we are celebrating a landmark of 75 years. Excuse me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're running late, and I don't know whether there is a possibility of any question and answer session. If not, I would like to end my presentation over here and not take much of your time. But those of you who are interested to know more, please do contact your local Lions clubs. We have Lions clubs in almost every locality, in almost every ward, and they would be too happy to work with you to provide, as I said, nutritious food to the people who need it most. One thing that I would like to bring to your attention, that while you're discussing this, you must also discuss a policy matter. And the policy matter is that you should collectively work towards influencing the government to pass legislation by which people who donate cooked nutritious food should not be made liable for any liabilities or third-party cases. If that happens, a lot of hotels, a lot of institutes, a lot of caterers would be very willing to give the surplus food and provide that food to be utilized by people who may not have got a meal that particular day. So this is one thing that I would like to suggest. And the other thing is that you must talk about wastage. The amount of wastage that we see in our weddings, in various hotels, in form of buffets, in our own homes, it is absolutely, I would say, criminal when we see a person just outside our homes, sitting on the pavement, who has not maybe eaten for 2 days, or maybe is just living on a cup of tea. This is something that I just possibly cannot understand. And moreover, people, our very own unfortunate brothers and sisters, putting their hands and into the garbage bins just to get maybe a piece of bread or something of that sort. That is a sight that I think after 75 years, India cannot afford to have. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am thankful to the organizers. I'm thankful to Mrs. Bhagyashree for thinking of me, who's one of the most, I would say, accomplished lions who has taken up this cause of nutrition in the Lions Club's international arena. She's doing an excellent job, and I'm sure she must be in the audience. If not, I would be too happy to connect you with her. And thank you once again for inviting me this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Neville. That was very crisp and brief about the contribution towards the nutrition in terms of soya.